Hello everyone and welcome back to my Eurovision channel where I will be discussing a number of songs for this year. We'll be talking about the run-up to Eurovision, the pre-parties, the semi-finals, predictions, Malmö. I will be in Malmö for 2 weeks, and a variety of different topics and discussions that we'll have. I today have decided, because I haven't done this, I am going to watch the music video for Slovenia, for Raiven. I know that Slovenia is, and Raiven, and the backstory of the song, which is essentially the story of a witch named Veronika in Slovenia back in the Middle Ages or medieval times. I'm not exactly sure when. Veronika, I believe, was drowned. So it's got a lot of meaning behind the song. After I react to this, I want to say a couple of things about witches in this competition this year, which are bugging me a little bit about how the fandom is reacting to these songs. And of course, today is Sunday the 18th, and we have Poland being released tomorrow morning, which could potentially be another song kind of witchy related. Some people would consider, if Constructa is selected for Serbia, as that being also kind of witchy related. So I have thoughts, but I'll come back to them after I react to Veronika by Raiven. And before I get into it, hello, which don't think I've done so far in this video. I'm Chris, and you can find me here, you can find me on Instagram, and I'm going to be doing a lot of videos and content in the run-up to Eurovision 2024, and I will be attending pre-parties, etc. And so we'll talk about the songs, the pre-parties, the semi-finals, the final, predictions, what's going on, what's happening, what's the gossip on the street, who we think will do well. But I'm coming at this from my perspective as well. So I'm an outlier, I would say, in the fandom in terms of the songs that I like. My genres are different to a lot of others. So let's see. Full disclaimer: I have heard Veronika in studio version. It's a good song. I'll come on to that after. It's a very good song, very good song. But I want to watch the music video to see the imagery, to kind of get a hint of what could come in Malmö. And this is in the first half of the first semi-final with Ireland, and potentially, if Serbia goes with Constructa, another witch. So, yeah, it could be tough. So let's go into the music video and see here we go. How we go, and here we go. I mean, it's such a beautiful voice that Raiven has. Very striking imagery as well. That is something that is in common with Bambi. Bambi Thug. This sound to me is very Netta 2018. I know it's not supposed to be, but that just comes into my head. I think Netta. Okay. This imagery is incredible. But I don't see any. Yeah, I don't see that. It's not the point of a music video to see singing. It's just. Okay, it's the imagery of kind of this Veronika kind of rising from the water in a way, or trying to get out of the water. I don't know. This needs to be performed incredibly live. This is a great hook, a great part of the song. Oh, is Veronika burnt at the stake? Oh, interesting. I'm confused as to whether Veronika drowned or was burnt at the stake with this music video. Okay. Raiven has no facial expressions. Maybe this is an artistic choice, which again, completely fine. This is definitely a song for the stage. I know a lot of the fandom seems to be very much into this song. I get it. I can understand why. I don't know Raiven, so I don't know the back catalogue of Raiven. This is the case with pretty much every artist that I'm hearing this year. I don't know their back catalogue. This song, so I was listening the other day to the studio releases of those that had been released already before this weekend. And this one did not stand out, surprisingly, when I was listening to them in a row. So it has to be a good stage show. It has to be a really strong theatrical performance that tells a story, and it has to be that story has to be shown through visuals, because obviously, few people are going to speak Slovenian. In the semi-final, unfortunately, you have Serbia and Croatia, who may be able to understand some of the lyrics behind it, but we really need to get an understanding of the concept behind this song if we're going to vote for it. Then, coming back to the witch theme. Let me finish on the song itself. I think this song will probably qualify and will probably be fine. But I'm not as sure as everybody else seems to be that will. Everyone's saying, oh, she'll have a great voice live and it'll be excellent, which is fine and great. If that's the case, fantastic. That well deserved to Raiven, and I wish Raiven all the best in this. But the song itself is not going to stick out as much as people think. I had this view on Joker Out, the exact same the exact same view, sorry, on Joker Out last year. And yeah, well, it qualified obviously, but it didn't go that far in the final, which seemed to shock a lot of people, and it did not shock me at all. But this really needs a very strong staging, and I can see it going potentially the wrong way for Slovenia if they don't get it right in the staging. So fingers crossed for Raiven and for Veronika, the song. I hope it qualifies, not at the expense of Bambi Thug, of course, but I hope that Raiven can qualify and do well, because the song itself is so intriguing that it deserves to be in the final, honestly. Now, let me say something about the witch theme and what everyone seems to be talking about in the fandom, that is. First of all, let's leave Poland to one side, because I haven't heard that song. I don't know really what it is about. I know the witch is in the title, which is fine. But comparing Raiven and Veronika with Bambi Thug, That does not work. Yes, there's one song is telling a story about a witch in the past. One song is actually bringing witchery and imagery into the song itself and bringing it to the present. And so it's completely different in my view. The genres are different, the music sound is different. What you have to emphasize to get a good score in the song and to potentially qualify are completely different. The only thing that I see as similar is the artistry. The artistry and the creativity of the stage are going to be key for both of those songs. So I disagree with this comparison of witches, and all this being the theme year of the witches in Eurovision. I don't agree with that at all. Bambi Thug is openly trying to portray, being a witch. Raiven is telling a story about a witch in the past. I don't believe that Raiven is trying to be a witch herself. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, by all means. But I find it very different. And it's also, I think we need to get away from these kind of comparisons when we're talking about the songs that are coming through. So, one thing that I'm going to try not to do with the semi-final performance productions songs at this stage is predict. I mean, my first impression is this is basically anywhere from 5th to 15th. I mean, it could be anywhere. I have no idea. It really depends on all of the other songs around. So we have to wait to see what those songs are before we predict whether it can do well in the semi, whether it can qualify, etc. However, staged right, performed right, as I've no doubt that Raiven will do, according to everyone that has ever spoken about Raiven performing live. I think this will do well, and it has huge potential to qualify and do relatively well in the final. But I also don't want to get into predictions about whether it will or not at this point, because we just don't have enough information. I mean, 5 songs out of that semi-final of death, semi-final one, will not go through. And I can only see, at the minute, maybe 2 or 3 songs that are definitely going through that have been selected. 2, maybe. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts on Raiven and Veronika. The music video, finally, because this was the whole point of this video. I just remembered that right now. The music video, I enjoyed. There was obviously creativity and artistry there. I wasn't overawed by it. I expected to be, a lot more impressed by it, because people said to me when I said studio version is nice, but I don't see the hype. People were like, you have to watch the video to understand. I just watched the video. You heard me try to understand. I don't understand. How did Veronika the witch die? Was Veronika murdered? I don't know. I don't get it. There's. And then kind of surrounded by all the bodies, which I have no issue with in terms of artistry. But I'm confused by it. So those are my thoughts on the music video. Let me know what you think. Explain some things to me that I'm not getting, obviously. What I love is the artistry and the creativity. What I'm not so sure about is what it all means. As someone that doesn't speak Slovenian, and someone that is not in the Baltic countries, and if I wasn't in the Eurovision kind of fandom of people explaining things, I would not really know what this is about. So for a first-time listener listening to this, which in the semis probably not, but in the final, yes, what are they going to be thinking? And yeah, how are they going to understand? How is it going to be clearly explained what this song is about? In comparison to some other songs that we have already, which I'll talk about when I do some reactions to those. So open questions, very open to this song, love it in terms of sonically, apart from, I'm sorry, but that Netta thing, it just makes me think of Netta and that the chicken song, the toy. It rubs me up the wrong way. It's a very personal thing. It's nothing against, and one, it's nothing against Netta, and two, it's nothing against Raiven. It's just that sound that for me doesn't work, and I don't know what. Someone said to me at some point it's supposed to be a witch casting a spell. That is not how a witch casting a spell sounds to me. If in your country in Europe that's how a witch casts a spell, please tell me, because I'm ignorant of these things about how witches cast spells in different languages. So explain to me and tell me. So those are my thoughts on Raiven and Veronika, and I will see you for the next video. And in the meantime, feel free to follow me on where? Instagram, Eurovision Chris. See you over there.